Hi, Mike DeLisio from Solo Mode Games. Today I'm doing a solo playthrough of the 1 to 4 player game Witches of the Revolution from Atlas Games. This is a deck building game with a really unique theme where you are playing a coven of witches who is escaping religious persecution along with the pilgrims and other groups from England, and you get caught up in the American Revolution and you are going to be adding your magic and witchcraft to try to overcome the tyranny of the British king and fight alongside the American rebels. Really unique theme and a kind of a little twist on the deck building genre. You'll see how it goes. The solo game is slightly different than the multiplayer game, but I point out those differences in the playthrough. So with that being said, why don't we head on over to the table and take a look. Okay, here we have a solo setup for Witches of the Revolution, a deck building game. The setup for the solo game is basically exactly the same as for the multiplayer game. The only difference between a solo game and a multiplayer game is that you have a hand size of 6 cards, whereas in the multiplayer game, you're going to have a hand size of 5, so you've got 1 additional card. The other major difference is that in the multiplayer cooperative game, which this is a co-op, in the multiplayer game, you can assist other players on their turns by playing one of your cards. Now, obviously, since you're playing solo, you have no assist ability, but in other ways, it's exactly the same. We have one of each of the 4 types of objectives that have been randomly chosen. So I've got Repair the Cairn at Chestnut Hill, Resurrect Benjamin Franklin, Turn the Tide at Sunpink Creek, and Retake Bunker Hill from the British. Those are my 4 randomly selected objectives from each of the 4 different types. Each of them have a number of symbols for each that are represented by these tokens here. So here we've got 3 of the skull symbols and 3 of the moon symbols. There are 3 skull tokens and 3 moon tokens, and it works the same across the rest of them. Here we've got our randomly, off the top of the deck, our first 3 recruits. We've got our event deck here. I have a starting deck of 15 Seeker cards, okay? My starting deck is made up of all Seekers, and these have very basic abilities. The ability for all of them is they allow me to act again on my turn if I play it, and they each have 2 particular symbols and 1 star, which I'll explain how those all work here in a moment. But basically they're all the same except that each of the 2 symbols are going to be slightly different. The turn reference is right across the top. This is what we're going to do on every round of the game. We're going to add a recruit, we're going to add an event, we're going to act and or recruit. We may discard and we may draw. These last 2 are optional. We're going to continue to do that until we reach a game-ending condition. To win, I need to overcome all 4 of those obstacles, and that's the only way I can win. I can lose, as you might expect from cooperative games. There's usually multiple ways to lose, and there are here. One of the ways I can lose is if my Liberty track goes all the way down here to the game lost situation. It starts on 4. I can also lose if the events fill up this event track and they go beyond past space 9. If these all fill up and I have to add another one, that's going to trigger an end game loss. And if I have to bring out an event card and I cannot complete it, I believe that, or the last event card, and I can't complete it, that's another way that I can lose. I probably need to double check that. The last card in the event deck is added and I don't win by the end of that turn. So basically, if this gets all the way past, or if the last one comes out and I can't win at the end of that turn. The moon track starts at 0. I'll explain how this works in a moment. All right, I think we're about ready to get going. It's a pretty simple turn structure. Okay, the first thing, adding a recruit, we don't do that on the first round of the game. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an event. So I draw the top card from this event, and it is Turncoats Give Up the Minuteman roster. Only seekers and relics may be used to overcome this event. On every event, you have to look at a couple of things. Number one is across the bottom, sometimes it'll have a when flipped, trigger. And in this case, it does not, so I don't have to worry about that. You'll also have some that are liberty events and some that are tyranny events. This is neither because it does not have a bell symbol or a rifle symbol, or actually it's not a rifle, it looks like a pistol, all right? But what we do need to look at is this. This is a moon symbol and it's got a 7 there. So we need to use 7 of any type of symbol. This is kind of this symbol and the skull symbol. You can use any symbols to complete it. We need 7 of them, okay? But in this case, only seekers and relics. Right now, what I have in front of me are all seekers. I would need to be able to use 7 of these symbols to complete that. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my recruit options. To recruit this celebrant Deirdre, it has 3 stars here. However, in this rightmost side, it says reduce cost by 1 star. So I can spend 2 stars to get him at the top of my deck. When you use witches, which are anything in your hand, when you use witches to recruit, they go away. They get banished. They don't go into your discard pile. So I would need to banish 2 of my seekers to be able to recruit him. And if I do that, that's going to leave me just enough to complete this because I'll have 8 different symbols if I recruit with 2. All right. I think I'm going to do that. The first thing, and you can do the recruiting or acting in any order. The first thing I'm going to do is I will banish 2 of my seekers. That's going to give me 2 star symbols to recruit Celebrant Deirdre, because normally he would take 3, but since he's in this spot, he goes to the top of my deck. Now I'm going to act. I need 7 symbols to be able to complete this Turncoats Give Up Minuteman roster event. Only seekers and relics may be used. These are all seekers, so there are 2, 4, 6, 8 different symbols. Because it's the moon, I can use any symbols. These get discarded into my discard pile, which I'll keep over here. This is going to get solved, and so I'm going to be able to take that symbol, that moon symbol here, and keep that in my player area, which I can use for a number of different ways I'll explain. This goes into the event discard. I didn't have to solve that. I could have let it continue to go down the track, but I chose not to. Now, I cannot discard because I have used all my cards, and I am going to choose to draw because I have no cards left. If I had 3 or 4 cards left, I wouldn't have to draw. Why wouldn't you want to? Well, every time you shuffle, every time you run out of cards and need to reshuffle your discards back into your deck, that's going to move this moon track up. As this moon track moves up, it gets more and more difficult to solve events. You see +1, +1, +1, and then +2, eventually 3 and 4. You have to add that many symbols to what you're trying to complete. I'll explain that in a moment. All right, so let me draw back up to 6. That card that I recruited on the last turn comes up first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you choose to draw, you always have to draw up to your maximum limit. So you have to draw up to 6. Okay, now we add a recruit. Flip over the top card, Celebrant Johann. These slide down. Okay, add an event. When flipped, add a recruit as you would in the add a recruit step, then do so a second time. That's pretty fantastic. Okay, so I actually am going to recruit 2, and I'm going to recruit this card and this card. Actually, add a recruit as you would, so I need to pay for it. I need to pay for it. This says add a recruit as you would in the add a recruit step. Okay, so I need to pay for these. They're not just free. Let's see here. I'll go ahead, and I still do think I want to recruit. Add a recruit as you would. Okay, so I'll spend 1, banish 1 to get that. And then this one takes 3. And so I'll go ahead and banish, let's see, these 3. Because this is cost as printed to get Celebrant Johann here. Now I've got my 2 cards. Okay. Now I can act and or recruit. This is a relic. It is free. It has no star symbols. So I can just go ahead and take that as is as my... So actually I recruited 3 times this turn. Because this was an event that caused me to do that. I can also recruit now. Had I the symbols needed to act on this event, I would. But this takes 4 of the cups or 3 of the kind of fire symbols. I've got 1 fire symbol, no cups. I could use this towards any symbol, this moon that I got earlier, but I'd still be 1 short. I need 3. I would have 2 if I did that. So I'm not going to do any more. I'm not going to discard either of these. I'm going to draw back up to 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to have to move up the moon track for the first time. All right, now we begin a new round. Okay, now we add a recruit. It is a relic. That will not cost me anything if I choose to recruit that. We're going to add an event. When flipped, 1 player must banish a card from their hand, okay? So I'm going to banish a Seeker. And then this is going to slide down. This is going to go here. Now, this is the first Liberty event that has come out yet. You'll see a little Liberty symbol there, and there's also a Liberty symbol down here. If this Liberty symbol makes it to this spot, or this spot, or this spot, you add 1 Tyranny, which brings it down this Liberty track here, and it makes things more difficult for you. When you solve a Liberty event, you move up 2 on the Liberty track, and so it's going to behoove me to take care of that. First thing I'm going to do is recruit. I'll go ahead and recruit this for free because it's a relic. It has no symbols on it, no stars on it. And now I get to act toward these events. This is 5 of any symbol, so I will certainly be doing that. I do want to see if I can solve this one. Here's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to use Celebrant Johann. He's got 4 of the fire symbols, which I can use to complete that event. So I will go ahead and play him. Now, I can use, even though I used the fire symbol to solve this event, I can remove from these obstacles, I can remove either one of those tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and remove, I will go ahead and remove the fire token. All right, I'm going to call it fire. I'm not sure if that's exactly what that is. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play my Seeker. All right, I'm going to play my Seeker, and it says play to act again on your turn. So I can go ahead and act on that as well, because I don't want that to move up and knock me down the Liberty track there. So I need 5 symbols of any type there. Let's go ahead and use Celebrant Deirdre, which is going to give me 4, and I'll use the fire, what I'm calling fire anyway. This is going to get me another of these unassociated tokens, and I move up 2 on the Liberty track because I solved that Liberty event. All right. Now I can choose to draw. I can draw without having to shuffle, so I will go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. And now I'm going to add a recruit. Dedicant Elsa. All right. Now I'm going to add an event. All right. Dagon Zealots Arouse Terror. This is a pistol. There's a term for it. I have to look in the book, but this is something that will, if it gets up to event 3 spot, I'll have to banish a recruit. This event requires 1 extra icon per Liberty event in the line. Thankfully, I took care of that Liberty event last time, so I'm in good shape there. All right, so I can act and or recruit. Well, the first thing I think I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and I'm going to spend this Seal of Solomon to solve this event. It's 3 stars. The difference here is, unlike your witches, when you play a relic to solve an event, it gets banished. You can only use it once. I'll go ahead and use that to take care of the Dagon Zealots. I'll be able to remove a familiar token or a star token. Let's go ahead and remove a familiar token there. Okay, this goes away. And now I can still recruit if I want to. This is 2 stars. I think I will go ahead and do so. I'll get rid of a couple of my Seekers. Take that, put it at the top of my deck. Now, I can choose at this point to not draw because I'll have to move up the moon track to do so. Or I can just go ahead and move up the moon track and bring all these in. I'm gonna choose not to draw. Let's see what happens. Okay. Out comes a new recruit. It is Dedicant Roland, I believe. All right. And we'll bring out an event. When flipped, each player must discard a card from their hand. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't want to discard this one because I can use her to solve that event. I'll go ahead and discard. This doesn't, I don't have to banish it, so I don't lose it forever, but I'll go ahead and discard this Seeker. All right. I'm not going to recruit that event. I'll go ahead and use Dedicant Oliver, which is my 2 stars there, will allow me to solve this event, which has 2 stars on it. I'll put it there. I can remove stars or cups. Let's go ahead and remove this cup symbol. All right. Now I feel like I have to draw. So I draw 2. I'm going to have to shuffle these. So I move up 1 on the moon track. Shuffle up my discards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Now we're going to add a recruit. It is a Relic Per Dademi, which has 3 of the cauldron symbols. Now we're going to add an event. No more than 2 witch cards may be used to overcome this event. It's got 3 stars and 3 familiar symbols. I'm okay there. I'll have no problem taking care of that one. Okay. So, do I want to recruit first? If it's in this middle section, I can reduce the cost by 1 if any magic icon matches. So if I play a Seeker that has either this fire symbol or this hand symbol, I can get it for 1, and I think that that behooves me to do so. So I will use this Seeker, which has a hand symbol, banish them, get Dedicant Roland. That's going to only cost 1 now. That goes at the top of my deck. And now I can deal with this event here. I need 3 stars or 3 of the familiars or kitties. All right, so I've got options here. I can just use Celebrant Deirdre, and I have plenty of stars there. I could use this Seeker and then use either 2 of those moons because those are wild, or a cat and a wild. I think I'll go ahead and just use that Celebrant. That way I'm maybe not having to draw this turn if I choose not to. This gets completed. I'll go ahead and take a star for that. All right. I did not use more than 2 witch cards. I only used 1. Okay. Do I want to draw up? I think I'm going to go with just these and hope for the best. add a recruit. We've got 2 relics. These both cost me nothing. All right. This is a golden fleece. It gives me 3 familiars. And now we're going to add an event. Only seekers and relics may be used to overcome this event. Okay. Well, that's not a problem because I've got a relic with 3 hand symbols here and I can use one of those moons. And that's likely what I'm going to do. Patriot Smithy is destroyed. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recruit. I'll go ahead and recruit this relic here. Put that at the top of my deck. I'm going to use this relic, which has 3 hand symbols. I will use one of my moons, which is a wild symbol. And that's going to give me the 4 that I need. Oh, that doesn't get banished. It just gets discarded. Okay, I can take a star or a hand. I'll go ahead and take a hand. And that goes there. I've been pretty lucky so far with my relics. I'll go ahead and draw up to 6 here. 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to add a recruit. Dedicant Juran. This slides down. Oops. Slides down. This comes in. Now we bring out a new event. When flipped, add a recruit as you would in the add a recruit step, then do so a second time. All right, well, that's fine. This one's free. This one's cost as printed, so I need to spend 2, so I'll spend my 2 seekers there. Banish those, get that recruit. All right, and now we're going to act and a recruit. I can't recruit because they're all gone. And now I can act. I've got the Witch Hunter de l'Ancre agitates for trials. So, takes 2 of the familiar symbols or 3 of the fire symbols. I can go ahead and use Dedicant Johann, or Celebrant Johann, excuse me, to do that. Or I can just use my familiar symbol and the moon symbol and not use any of my witches to complete that. Or I can use Dedicant Roland and the moon, which I think is probably what I'm going to do. I'll use Dedicant Roland. That's 2 of the fire symbols. I'll use the moon for the 3rd. This is going to get taken care of. I can get a familiar or a fire symbol. I'll go ahead and take a fire symbol. I want to have options here in case I want to use those to solve events. All right, I'll draw up to my 6 and we'll get ready for the next round. Okay, we're going to now add a recruit. Steward Frida. These are nice cards. They're very expensive, these stewards. They take 4 stars, okay? However, they give you 6 symbols and their ability, banish at any time, to remove and keep any objective marker from any objective. So they can be very, very powerful in that way. But they're not cheap. So I'm probably going to wait until it slides down a little bit to try to recruit it. All right. Add an event. When flipped, move the Liberty track marker 1 space towards Tyranny. Well, that's unfortunate. Goes here, but luckily I had already completed one of those earlier, so I don't have any of these negative effects bothering me. Troubling distractions abound. I need 2 fire symbols or 3 familiars. Well, I can use this golden fleece to take care of that without a problem. And that's likely what I'm going to do. All right. I don't think I want to recruit it yet. It'll get cheaper as it goes down. All right, so I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and use my golden fleece to take care of that. Troubling distractions abound. I'll either be able to take a familiar or a fire token. Let's go ahead and take a familiar token. All right, because I've got a lot of fire tokens out here. I don't know that I'm going to draw. Well, we'll draw one more. It's not going to hurt. There's a seeker there. Okay. Now we're going to add a recruit. A blessing card. Our first blessing cards. When these come up, you do what it says. When flipped, do not advance the recruits. Instead, choose one of these options, then banish this card. So here are my options. I may remove one marker from an objective, or I may draw a card, even excessive hand size. Well, to me, this is kind of a no-brainer. I'm going to remove an objective. I'm down to one here. But maybe what I want to do is go after one of these that I've got the most of. So I've got 3 of these, 3 of these, and 3 of these. Let's go ahead and take a cauldron. I don't have one of those markers. All right. So we have added the recruit. We're going to add an event. Unfortunately, that stays at that cost, which is kind of a shame. Add an event. Okay, while face up, recruiting cost, 1 extra star, including relics. So this is a bummer because now this one costs 4 to recruit. This is a Liberty event, and also it has a catastrophe symbol, which is the skull. So what this means is that it says 9 plus P. So I need 9 plus the number of players, which in this case is 1. I need 10 symbols of any type to complete this Golem Rampage. All right. So I can do that. I've got all kinds of these tokens over here, these objective tokens that I can use. I don't think I want it to get to the next round. I think I want to go ahead and take care of this while I can, because I don't want to move down on the Liberty track. So let's go ahead and start spending some symbols here. All right, so I think I'm going to keep my relic. Let's use these seekers. So there's 4 symbols. I need 10 total. 4 and 4 is 8. If I use those, maybe I hang on to that though, because that could be powerful. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we'll discard all of them. There's 10 symbols, 3, 6, 8, 10, which is what I need, and they could be of any type. Those get discarded. This Golem Rampages is a Liberty event, so I'm going to move up to the max on the Liberty tracker, and I go ahead and take a skull marker, which counts as another wild, just like the moons do. All right. I'm going to draw, but it's going to move me up the moon tracker. I feel like I got to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to shuffle. This moves up, and now all of my events are going to cost 1 extra. All right, so we've got 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Add a recruit. I'd like that to move down. Okay, here's a relic. So now, to get that Steward, it's going to cost me 3 if I use that symbol. All right. Now we're going to add an event. When flipped, each player must discard a card from their hand. That's a bummer. I will discard... Well, this is not a great one for me in that I only have a couple of them. All right, well, I'll discard this Seeker. Okay, I may hold off on completing that event. It needs 2 cups, which I could do. I could use this Dedicant and this cup, or the wild symbol there. I could even use 2 of my familiars and the wild, but I don't know that I need to push that forward just yet. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is hold off and see if this can scoot down. I could recruit that, but I want this to move down, so I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. All right, so I don't think I'm going to recruit. I don't think I'm going to act. I'll just draw. I'm not going to discard. I'll just draw. All right, so now we've got a couple of celebrants here. Okay, add a recruit. This is Dedicant Beatriz. All right. And now we're going to add an event. When flipped, I must discard a card from my hand. Again, that's a real bummer, because that's going to have to be one of these dedicants. So we'll go ahead and discard her. Now, I do want that Steward in my deck. There's no two ways about that. So I'm going to spend 3. I've got to banish. Well, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. I think first thing I'm going to do, because I really would have loved to have spent a Seeker on that, because I don't want to overspend. Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh well, too late for that. I'm going to go ahead and I'll recruit this, because that won't move off. That's going to move down. So I'll recruit that relic. And now, do I want to take care of one of these? I think I kind of need to. Let's go ahead and use, it's going to cost me 1 extra now because of my moon tracker. So I'll use this Dedicant Oliver. It's going to give me 1 cup symbol. I'll spend another cup symbol, and then I'll spend that skull there as a wild, and that's going to allow me to take care of the British Troops Burn Sacred Grove event. Alright, that goes away. And now I can take either a cup or a familiar. Let's go ahead and take a familiar. Put that there. That goes away there. Alright, let's draw up to 6, 5, and 6. So now I'll be able to use this relic to take care of that, potentially. I was really hoping to get one of my Seekers in there because I don't want to overspend for that, but I don't know that I'm going to have an option. Alright, now we add a recruit. Dedicant Owain. We're going to add an event. When flipped. That is awful. Well, not too awful, actually. Okay. When flipped, advance the moon track, so it stays +1. Players must shuffle their Coven discards into their deck. So I kind of get a free shuffle. I get a free reshuffle, okay? Okay, well, let's see here. Now I really do need to take care of that. I need to recruit. Boy. Alright. Seems a shame to banish a Celebrant. I could use these symbols too, but it's 2 of these tokens for 1 star. So I think that's way too expensive. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and banish my Celebrant to get my Steward in there. And now I will use this relic for 3 of the hand symbols. Oh wait, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't have enough to do that. I could use my... Can't use my cups because I've got 3 of those, but I need 4. I can use my familiars to do that one. So I'll spend my 3 familiar tokens to take care of Anticipation Paralyzes would-be allies. Spend those 3 tokens. And now I'll take, the familiars are all gone. I'll take one of these cups. Alright. And I've already recruited. I've acted. I'm not going to discard. I will draw. There's my Steward. And now we get ready for the next round. Okay, we add a recruit. A blessing. Any player may recruit a face-up Dedicant or Celebrant for free, or do not add an event this turn. I think what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and not add an event this turn. Alright, so I skipped that phase. That was adding the recruit. I don't have to add an event. Now I can act and or recruit. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is, this is Vandal's Loot Crucial Supplies. I think I'm going to use my Olivant Relic, which gives me 3 hand. symbols, I'll use my Dedicant Jurian, which gives me a 4th. And for my +1 on the moon track, I'll use my token. All right, that gets discarded, that gets banished. This gets taken care of, and I will take a hand symbol for that. That goes here. All right, I'm at 4 cards. I'll go ahead. I can still recruit if I want to, but I don't think I want to. I'll draw. Okay, now we're going to add a recruit. Dedicant Ulrika. We're going to add an event. When overcome, a player must discard 2 witch cards. If no player can, this event is not overcome. Well, in this case, that a player has to be me since it's a solo game. This is a Liberty event. If it makes it over here, I'll go down 1 on the Liberty track towards Tyranny. I don't think I'm going to have to, though. I think I can take care of that one, no problem. All right, so first thing I want to do is, I don't know that I want to recruit anybody because it would just be Dedicant for Dedicant. I don't know that there's a point of that right now. I'm going to go ahead and use my Per Dedani relic. That's going to give me 3, and there's 4 for my moon track. I'll go ahead and banish that. It's a one-time use. And take care of Lake Champlain attacked. I cannot move up any higher on the Liberty track, even though this is a Liberty event. But I can get either a fire or a cauldron symbol. Let's go ahead and take a cauldron symbol. All right, take care of that. And now I'm going to choose to draw. And here we go. We're going to be adding a recruit. Dedicant Juba. This goes to the banish pile. These scoot down. Add an event. All right, Troop Reinforcements Shipwrecked. This is a catastrophe event. It's 9 + P, so it's going to be 10. And while face up, maximum hand size is reduced by 1. Now, I don't remove one of these cards because this is only during the draw phase. So if I can get rid of this before the end of the round, I'll be able to keep my hand size, and I should be able to do this. This is going to take 9 events, or 9 symbols. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is, let's see, actually it's going to take me 10, 11 symbols. Let's keep that straight because it's 9 + P, 10 + 1 from the moon track. So I need 10. So I think what I'll do is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Yes, I will do that. Okay. So these get discarded. This gets taken care of. I cannot move up the Liberty track because it's already at max. I will take one of those, which is now a wild symbol for me, and those are always nice. I can draw back up to my maximum hand size, which is still 6 since I took care of that without having to reshuffle, so I'll do that. There's some Seekers, so I think I will probably be recruiting this next turn. All right, so I drew. Now we're going to add a recruit. Aha, a Steward. Steward Betsy. Always want to definitely get those. All right, it's going to cost 4 of the stars at that point. All right, so now we add an event. When flipped, each player must discard a card from their hand. That is not terrific. So let's see here. I really would like to recruit the Steward, but I think I will try to wait till the next round to do so. So I think what I'll do is I'll discard this Seeker. All right. Now I will... I'm not going to recruit. Am I going to act? I need 3 hands or 4 cauldrons. I can do I can do that. I can do the 3 hands if I choose to. I think I might hold off though, because I really think I want to use this and one of these Seekers to recruit her on the next go round. All right, so I'm not going to act on that. I'm actually not going to draw. I'm not going to draw because I don't want to move up that moon track just yet. All right. So I will add a recruit, Dedicant Mordecai. That goes away. These move down, and now Steward Betsy is going to cost me one less as long as I use a familiar icon to recruit. Hopefully an event comes out that does not cause me any problems. When flipped. Yes, this caused me problems. The current player must discard their hand, then draw 4 cards. That is absolutely awful. All right, well, these get discarded. To draw, I need to move up the moon track. Shuffle. I'm only going to get 4 cards. That is a real shame. I should have known. I should have known. I tried to wait. That's what happens. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course, none of these allow me to do that. All right, well, that's the breaks. That's just the way it goes. All right. So, what do I want to do here? I cannot recruit Steward Betsy yet. I have to wait till the next turn. I can recruit Dedicant Juba with this Seeker. However, again, I don't know that I want to do that. Do I want to act? It takes... boy, I don't know that I do. I don't know that I do. Wow. Okay, well, I'm taking a risk again because all of these events just keep coming on down here. All right, I'm going to draw up to 6 now. Okay, I'm going to add a recruit. Celebrant Prudence. That goes away. Now Steward Betsy is going to cost 3, no matter what I play. Now I'm going to add an event. While face up. Players may only cooperate on catastrophes and unaligned events. Well, this is not going to affect me because there is no cooperating in a solo game. This is, however, a catastrophe event. 8 plus P, so 9 plus 1, 10 symbols to take care of Miss Jenny as a spy there. All right. First thing I want to do is I want to recruit Steward Betsy into my hand. That's going to cost 3. I will banish Dedicant Roland. Actually, I could banish these 3 Seekers to do that, but that makes my hand size even smaller. It means I'm going to be shuffling more often. So let's get rid of this Dedicant and this Seeker. Banish those, get Steward Betsy into my hand. And now I think it might be time to take care of some of these events because I don't want this to go into the next spot and move my tyranny down, although I'm high up on the track there. I don't know that it's a huge issue. Let's see here. I get 6 symbols out of this Steward. I need 10 total. So if I play this Steward and my 2 Seekers, I'd be good right there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do that. Discard those. Take care of Miss Jenny as a spy there. Liberty Track would go up, but it cannot because it's already at full. I will take this Skull token. Now I'm 1 away from solving this event. I could use one of my super-powered ones if I want to. I can actually draw up without having to shuffle. So let's do that. All right. So now we draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I know what I'm going to do right now, actually. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do it just yet because I have to go in the right order. So, first thing I'm going to do is add a recruit. Celebrant Otiani. Then I'm going to add an event. I don't have to move these forward because it already is forward. Only Seekers and Relics may be used to overcome this event. It's, okay, well, let's see here. I need 7 plus 1 is 8. I don't have enough Relics and Seekers to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is this. First thing, well, no, boy, do I want to do that? My thought was playing my Steward, which I banish it, I could remove this token, that would complete this objective, and I could freely reshuffle then draw to a full hand. That would mean that I could shuffle these last 3 up without moving the moon track up. Save me a turn at least. Boy. Let's see here. I think what I might do instead is bring some Seekers out for that. Okay, so I'm going to use my Celebrant, Deirdre, to take care of this Rain of Frogs event. All right, 4 is all I need because I'm still at +1 there. So I do that. This event is taken care of. I can take either a star or a cauldron. I'll go ahead and take a star, I believe. All right. And now I can recruit if I wanted to. Do I want to recruit? Don't know that I do. Yeah, I don't know that I do want to. If I could do this one with a Dedicant, I would, but I cannot. So I don't think I'm going to recruit, all right? I don't think I'm going to draw. Well, boy, am I going to draw? Don't know if I'm going to draw or not. I would have to move up the moon track. I think I'm going to hold off on drawing. That might be a mistake, but that's what I'm doing. All right. Steward Alazair. Okay, well that's good. Scoot these down. Now we're going to add an event. When overcome, a witch must discard 2 witch cards. If no player can, this event is not overcome. All right. All right. I think I was supposed to do that earlier. I may have made a mistake on an earlier event where I was supposed to discard a couple of witch cards. If I did, I apologize. All right, so we've added an event. Now we're going to act and or recruit. All right. So let's see here. I think first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take care of this mysterious contagion. All right. I'll spend these 3. I have to banish to do that. So that's 3 of the cups, and I'll use my token for the 4th cup. And I'm going to have to discard 2 witch cards, all right, to be able to do that. So I'll get rid of these 2 Dedicants here. I'll discard those, which I may not have done that before. And again, if I didn't, then that's a mistake on my end, and I apologize. I'll take the star there. I've got plenty of stars. That gets taken care of. Now I'm going to draw, and so I need to move up the moon track. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, we're getting ready to start a new one. Okay, here we go. We're going to add a new recruit. Dedicant Nikon. Celebrant Prudence goes away. All right. Now we're going to add an event. When flipped, the current player must banish a card from their hand. That's a bummer. Okay, so let's banish. Boy, I really would have liked, because I wanted to use this Seeker to buy that card. That stinks. But them's the breaks. All right, so I'm going to, well, I could banish a Dedicant, but I'm going to banish this Seeker. Now, I'm going to recruit Steward Alazair. It would cost me 4. However, I can spend 1 less, but I don't think that's going to apply. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and use, let's see here. Maybe I'll keep those. I'll use these 2 to recruit her. And I think what I'm going to do is this. Okay. So I've recruited. Now I can act. But I think what I'm going to do is this. First thing, I'm going to banish at any time to remove and keep any objective marker from any objective. So I'm going to banish Steward Betsy. I'm going to take this star token, which allows me to do the power here. One player may immediately recruit a face-up recruit card at no cost. So I'll flip that over. I will recruit Celebrant Otiani. All right. Now, I can still act. All right, I can still act. Let's see here. I need to add 2 to whatever I'm doing. So, let's see. I need either 4 hands or 5 of the fire. So let's do this. Let's use Dedicant Jurain. All right. That is 1 hand, 2 hands, and then 2 wilds. All right. To take care of that event. And now I can remove either a fire or a hand. I'll remove the fire here. That takes care of that. I'm going to draw, which is going to have to move the moon track up again. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. There's no point in shuffling. That moves up there. And now we add a recruit. A relic, thankfully. All right, and now we're going to add an event. When flipped, move the Liberty track marker 1 space towards Tyranny. All right, so that goes down there. None of these trigger because these are neither of those type of events. All right, so let's recruit this relic. That's free. Now let's see here. I'd love to be able to take care of this event. I can banish one of these to do that. Or I could try... Yeah, okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to use Steward Aldezair. I'm going to discard it to take care of the Witch Hunter Boget Stalks the Shadows event. So that takes care of those 3 symbols and then some. All right. I will go ahead and remove the hand token. And then I believe what I'll do is I'll banish this to remove this. All right. And now remove an event from the line without overcoming it. Flip that over. I'm going to remove this event because this needs Seekers and Relics, which is very difficult. All right, now I'm halfway there. And do I want to draw? I don't think I'm going to draw because I don't want to move up just yet on the moon track. All right, so I'm going to add a recruit. Here we go. Steward Dwathla. All right, good, good. I definitely am going to want her. Now we're going to add an event. Stewards may not be used to overcome this event. All right, well, can't use stewards towards that. All right. Now I can act and or recruit. I might go ahead and banish these 2 to recruit that steward. Yeah. Might want to do that. Okay. I will banish these. Oh, wait. No, I can't. Because that costs me 4. If I wait till the next turn, it would cost me 3 as long as I used this card. Do I take that risk? That's come back and bitten me before. Think I am going to take that risk. I'm not going to recruit. Am I going to act? I think I will act. Well, can I act? I can. But if I do so, then I'm not going to be in a position to recruit that steward next time. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Well, let's see here. I do think I need to do that, though. I need to get that token. All right, so let's go ahead and act for this one. That takes 5 at this point, so I'll spend these. 4, well, no, I'll keep that one. 4 and 1 is 5. All right, discard that. Temper's Boil in Boston is taken care of, so I can take care of that, and I can get a last Cauldron. I don't think I'm going to draw because I just want to recruit her as it moves down. As long as nothing horrible happens, then that's always dangerous. So I'm not going to draw. I'm going to add a recruit. Ooh, another steward comes out. And here's where the event might come back and bite me. When flipped, okay, I'm okay there. Move the tyranny track marker 1 space towards tyranny. Okay, so that goes there to 5. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to recruit Steward Tuathla, which would normally be 4, but it's going to be 3 because I'm going to be using this Seeker with the star symbol. Those get banished. This goes to the top of my deck. And now, do I want to... I think I do. I think I want to spend my 4... I could spend my 4 stars, or 4 stars to do that. Well, do I want to do that? It's really not the stars I want. I want the cups, and I want those moons. These cups would be great if I... If I had more hands, which I don't. I think I'm going to be out of luck here. I think I'm going to have to draw and shuffle and bring in my discards. Don't think that I can add. Well, I could just spend these to do that, but I don't think that does me any good right now. Okay, I'm going to hold off on there. I am going to draw, though. All right. All right, so I'll draw 1, 2, 3. These don't have to be shuffled because I only got the 5. That goes up on the moon track. I've got these 5 cards here. Now I'm going to add a recruit. Dedicate Una. All right. And I'm going to add an event. While face up, maximum hand size reduced by 1. That's not an issue for me. If this moves up 1 more, then I'm going to have to banish a recruit because it has the pistol symbol on it. If this moves up 1 more, the tyranny track's going to go down again. But I think in this case, okay. All right, well, I'm close. I'm close here. Do I want to... Do I want to recruit that steward? Well, let me see if there's a way I can first off do this. I'd really love to get that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to banish this steward, Steward Al-Dazir, to remove and keep any objective marker, which is going to be this. All right. All players may freely reshuffle and draw to a new hand. That doesn't apply. That gets flipped over. All right. Now I can still recruit or act. So what I need to do is get this one taken care of. Whoa. Let's go ahead and recruit that steward because I think I'm going to need to do that to win the game. All right, so 4 stars. I'm going to banish both of those. That goes to the top of my deck. I've recruited. I'm going to need to take care of that, though. I am going to take care of that. So I need to spend 4. I've got 4 stars there because I don't want that to go over here and bump my tyranny up, so I have to banish recruit. So I spend my 4 stars to take care of that. I can't remove any tokens, unfortunately, but that's going to keep that from moving down. All right. I am going to draw. So that means now 3, but I don't think that's going to matter because I'm going to banish these to remove those objectives, and that should take care of the game. All right. All right. Let's just make sure nothing happens before then. Add a recruit. That comes in. Add an event. Double this card's effects on the Liberty track. So if that got up to the Liberty space, this one does move, so that takes me down to 4 there. All right, but I should be able to finish the game right here. So I spend these 6 to take care of Moore's Creek Bridge because this needs 3 plus 3, so that gets discarded. That gets taken care of and that goes away. Then I banish Steward Tuathla to take care of this last one, and took care of the last of the objectives, and I ended up with a final score of 4. All right, they said that you can find out your score based on where you are on the Liberty track. So a score of 4 right there in the middle. So you can see it's pretty interesting. You get a really small deck and you have to really manage those discards and draws, and really a unique kind of play on deck building. So hopefully you got a pretty good idea on how to play Witches of the Revolution. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.